Hey, what's up? This is Activity Book here. I feel like I haven't really bought anything in quite a long time now, but since that summer sale video that we did a couple of weeks ago, that definitely got me inspired to get some new stuff in. So I picked up a whole bunch of things, in fact. There's a couple that you might have seen if you checked out that video or you looked through the Shoptago list with a bunch of things, because let's be honest, I'm not balling hard enough to pay full price for everything. And there's a couple of things that weren't included in that video that I saw later and ended up buying as well. So we've got a couple of little surprises in there too. We're going to be checking out in a bit more detail some of these recent purchases, doing a bit of a mini review, I suppose, on each one. And if you heard me say Shoptago list before and you were like, huh? Then prepare to be enlightened, as Shoptago are very kindly the paid sponsors of this video as kind of a follow-up, I suppose, to the summer sale video a couple of weeks ago. So if you want to get your future purchases nice and organized, then here's how it works. First thing is to download the Shoptago browser button. I'm going to make this real easy for you. There's a link in the description, so you can just click that and then it will take you exactly to the right place. And from there, all you have to do is click yes a couple of times and it should install pretty much straight away. The Shoptago button, like Jaws, will lurk beneath the surface waiting for its time to strike when you open a product page at your favorite retailer. It'll pop up on the right there, at which point you can click it and select your preferred size and color and then save that product to your Shoptago dashboard. Not only can you keep track of stuff, but you can be notified via email or push notification if either that product comes back in stock or if the price drops below a certain threshold. You can also use Shoptago to view and apply coupon codes for sites, so give that a go and you might end up saving some extra cash on checkout for free. You can also save things to dedicated lists, which is a good way to keep things organized, whether that be everything you like from one particular sale, all the jackets you might want to buy when winter comes around, your top 10 anime box sets because your parents discovered that you were using their credit card for a Crunchyroll subscription. A new thing they've just started doing as well is cashback, so there's a couple of retailers this works for where you can activate that and then once you hit a certain threshold it'll pay you cashback. You guys know how cashback works. As I say, there is going to be a link down there in the description if you want to check that out and see if it's useful for you. Now let's show some of this stuff off. If you saw the summer sale video then you will definitely be familiar with these. I talked quite fondly, I suppose, about these, the Maharishi cropped cargos. I thought that they looked pretty cool. They didn't initially have a massive saving on them. They were marked as 200 down to 170. Well, the price dropped to 150 and then again to 130, and I thought by that point, look, this is clearly a sign from the gods or something telling me that I just need to buy these. So I ended up picking them up for 130, and then when they arrived, they had a tag on that said the original price was 260 and not 200. So half price cargo pickup right here. It was the fit of these that drew me to them. They've got this nice relaxed silhouette with the potential, if you want to kind of taper these in at the shin, I suppose, because these are cropped, with this quite unusual shock cord design that Maharishi use in quite a few of their pants. The crop level is pretty nice. I think it makes them look very casual, very slouchy, very oversized as well. These basically come across to me like giant shorts rather than short trousers. That's partly because of the cargo pocket design, which is both oversized and it sits pretty low on the leg. I think that looks really cool, makes them a bit harder to actually use, but yeah, it doesn't matter too much. What this does have in terms of pockets though, on the left hand side, you see this zip here, there's a little tiny sneaky pocket right in there. I can't even, there we go. Just hidden in there. Keep all your secret stuff. Keep your mini discs with your top secret files on there. No one is ever going to find those. One of the other real positives about these, I think, is the material. This uses organic cotton, which organic, always good. That gets some plus points. But also the feel of this is really nice as well. It has this slightly kind of velvety feel to it, but it's still very, kind of feels, it's slightly rigid, it's slightly durable feeling. It's quite different to, you know, a pair of like jersey cotton track pants or something. There are some examples of kind of slightly loose or unfinished stitching. In the context of these pants, I think it actually looks fine. Having things that are a little bit kind of slightly messy, I think if anything adds to the look. Yeah, they're not meticulously crafted or anything, but as I say, I have no doubt that these will be a pretty durable pair of pants. And yeah, at £130, I think that's it's probably overall better than what you could normally expect from that amount of money. So I think these feel like a pretty decent product, and yeah, I'm quite happy with these. Only thing though for me, don't know exactly what I'm going to wear with these. They definitely have a bit of a summery vibe, what with that cropped look. I thought I would try something a little bit different though. I wore these with the Downtown Air Force Ones. Maybe you guys can weigh in actually, because I'm not 100% on this. Don't know if it looks quite right, that kind of interaction there, but there's definitely some potential with that kind of thing to still wear these in more like cold weather fits. I don't think this just has to be summer. Perhaps just needs a bit more thought. But if worst comes to worst, I do have some sandals that I could wear with these, so it's all good. Another thing that drew me to these was these little cords that come out of the inside of the cargo pockets. The use for them, in inverted commas, is so that you can secure the contents of the cargo pockets by like tying them around your leg. I don't think anyone is ever going to legitimately do that. You'd have to be really desperate because it looks a bit silly. But I suppose it is technically an option, and you can tuck these in if you don't want them dangling down. At the same time, I got these Maharishi Tabby Socks. I did buy some of these last year, but I've poked my toe through in every pair, I think. These were £30, I think, for 3 pairs, which that's a little bit expensive. Clearly, you're paying a bit for the novelty value and for the Maharishi branding, but cotton elastane blend makes them very, very comfy for general wear, or if you just want to freak people out with the weird crab toe thing, you can do that too. I did actually pick up some sandals as well, although not specifically to wear with these. They are a John Elliott and SEQUAL collab. I got them off End, so there was like discounts on discounts basically. So this ended up being the best part of 50% off. I got these on the basis that at the moment I'm still wearing a lot of very casual, very informal clothes, working from home, etc, etc. And these reminded me a lot of bathroom slippers. Well, they basically are bathroom slippers, which I thought was great. So they're something that you could wear both indoors and outdoors. So I'd be guaranteed to get some good use out of them. But I like them more than a regular pair of slippers because they're a bit more substantial. They look cooler as well. And yeah, you can legitimately wear them outside. Unfortunately though, these are too small. I went one size down, which I now realise was far too ambitious because the Maharishi SEQUALs that I got last year, I got those in my true size and I thought that they were a little bit too big, if anything. So maybe this would solve the problem. SEQUAL doesn't come in half size, unfortunately. But yeah, these are unfortunately definitely too small, which is a shame because I like everything else about them. I like the styling. They're kind of like technical but comfy at the same time. They didn't have a UK 11 sadly, or else I would have swapped for the bigger size. But it's an important point though, don't stick with things just because they're on sale or because you got them for a good price. If it's not the right size for you or you feel uncomfortable in them, then you're not going to want to wear them as much. And when you do wear them, you're probably not going to look as good because things are awkwardly sized or whatever, and you're not going to feel as good in them either. You're going to be a bit uncomfortable. Getting those things that are just right, that fit you perfectly, that's the good stuff. To add to the blue theme, I had intended to wear those John Elliott sandals along with this lovely little capital Naragi that I picked up at a very similar time. This wasn't on sale, sadly. I paid regular price for this, but I got it from a Canadian retailer called Blue Button Shop, and I hadn't heard of them before, but they were basically the only people that had this particular thing in stock. Came in at about $300, I think, which I suppose is fairly expensive for a Naragi, but for a piece of capital clothing, it's actually one of their cheaper items, which I suppose speaks volumes about this brand. But this is the first thing from Capital that I've bought. I'm honestly really happy with this. I think it looks great. I think the fit is really nice as well. I really like too how they're using, you know, traditional Japanese workwear in the form of the Naragi, but updating that with traditional Americana workwear materials. So it's giving it this, you know, interesting cultural fusion there. And the result, I think, is, you know, I don't think this is something that looks too costumey. I think this has a kind of authentic feel to it. The result is something super casual. It feels really easy to wear. You can just chuck it on. It's got that open front with the tie, so you can kind of tie it up if you want to. I think there's a nice bit of versatility here, but it's still got, it's kind of interesting enough. There's enough like cool stuff going on with these different like patches and the kind of patchwork finish of this thing that it is distinctive. It's going to get a bit of attention, but just being different shades of blue, I don't think this is going to be hard to incorporate into a wardrobe at all. I was a little bit worried, to be honest, because this is very different to what I would normally buy, and yet I don't find it too much of an issue just chucking this on over the top of something else. And yes, I've already been clowned on Instagram for buying a denim product after making that video a couple of months ago, but the point of that was not that you should never buy denim. It was just, you know, consider alternatives for that kind of thing. Look, you know the deal. You know what I mean. This is my favorite pickup of the bunch for sure. I'm really looking forward to incorporating this in some different outfits. I think there's a lot that can be done with mixing the more futuristic techwear stuff with more vintage inspired brands like Capital. Definitely been inspired by people like Heck House, who have put together some really cool fits that are doing exactly this, mixing brands like Acronym and brands like Capital. So yeah, some cool stuff there for sure. Next, something a little bit off the beaten track for me, it's a ring, an oversized square ring. by a cold wall. Now, if you've been watching these videos or seen me on Instagram for a while, you know that I basically do not wear any jewelry at all. So this was something of a step outside of my comfort zone, but I feel like something like this would fit really nicely into my wardrobe. It's very futuristic looking, it's kind of angular, it's geometric. It definitely, I think it has a place in techwear with its kind of brutalist style, and as does a cold wall generally. It's definitely a brand that I like and would like to wear more of. It's also very tough, it's very masculine, and I thought it'd make a good first ring because it's something that can kind of stand up by itself. It doesn't need like rings on every single finger to make it look good. You can just wear this on its own as a bit of a statement piece. The other thing that drew me to it, this was on sale on End, and then there was a discount code on top of that, so it ended up being about £200, which for a 95 sterling silver ring by a designer brand, especially one that is as big and as present as this, I don't think that's too bad a price. Annoyingly though, the sizing is kinda off for this. I got a size medium on the basis that, well, I think I've got pretty medium-sized fingers, but this unfortunately is too big for my ring fingers, but too small for my middle and index fingers. So I'm a little bit stuck. There's not a huge amount I can do with that. Didn't try it as a toe ring, I'll be honest, but probably not going to do that. A ring from a dedicated jewelry brand would of course have far more size options, so I could have got something that actually would have fit properly. So I guess that's another lesson to learn, that when you get these fashion brands doing jewelry and stuff like that, it's maybe not going to be as good or as flexible as stuff by a dedicated jewelry brand. You could say the same for watches as well. So sadly, that along with the sandals are being returned, which is a shame because again, I like the style of this and I thought it would have fit in pretty nicely with my wardrobe. But keen to hear your thoughts on this one actually. Do you think that jewelry has a place in the kind of futuristic techwear kind of wardrobe? There's definitely a few staples in this kind of space. There's the Gorilla Group leather rings in particular. People do wear those a lot. And personally, I've seen stuff from Gone Archive before, which I think looks really, really cool. I would absolutely love to, if I was going to start wearing more jewelry, that's definitely a brand that I would be looking into, because I think the style kind of fits perfectly. It's got all the same hallmarks. It's very brutalist. It's kind of futuristic, but kind of destroyed at the same time. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I like there. If you've got any other recommendations for stuff like that though, definitely stick it down there in the comments, because there's going to be people looking for this kind of jewelry for sure. One more thing, a little bit of a wild card. I treated myself to a brand new mechanical keyboard. I bought one for my girlfriend, and I immediately got extremely jealous. So I bought this Varmillo Panda mechanical keyboard. They're a Taiwanese brand. They do full keycap artistry. This one's got cherry MX browns because I've got to have that tactile bump. And I've got to say, compared to my old Antwon that I was using before, which used Gateron brown switches, this is a noticeably better build quality, better typing feel, and it sounds better as well. I'm not maximum level mechanical keyboard nerd, you know, I'm not buying my own switches and soldering them on and stuff. But yeah, I thought this was a really cool product personally, and I like Varmillo as a brand. They make pretty unique products. They're made in small quantities as well, so you're going to get something that's a little bit different to the other stuff on the market. And it came with a big mouse mat and a little cuddly panda toy as well, so what's not to like? You're getting the full package. And those were my 5 recent pickups. Let me know if you've bought anything recently in the summer sales. I know quite a few of you commented on the last summer sale video that you'd bought some of the stuff that was featured in that or that was in the Shoptago list, so that was super cool to see. Really hope that you guys were happy with that stuff. And if you've got a particular favourite of these, anything that caught your eye, for me, as I say, it's got to be the Naragi, but maybe you're more a fan of the Cargos, or maybe you just really like mechanical keyboards. Anything else we should be looking out for in the sales, definitely stick it in the comments as well. I love how helpful and informative the comment section in these videos always is. So yeah, big thanks to you guys for that one. And that is everything. So thank you so much, as always, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, because it is super appreciated. And again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next week with another video. Hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings with the Gamer Fashion video last week, but shout out to Panafam for reminding me of the Louis Vuitton bags with the RGB on it. The ultimate gamer accessory, how could I forget? And shout out to Steven Fernandez. Uniqlo, in my eyes, definitely one of the best places to get the kind of gaming or pop culture reference t-shirts. Normally they collab with different artists and stuff, so you get like a fun twist on whatever game of the month they might be doing on their tees. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more, there's going to be links going up at the top. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then you can hit one of the side buttons or wherever the subscribe thing is, I forget. They change it around all the time. But you can hit the button, you can be subscribed, and then future videos are going to come out and you're going to love them and you're going to watch them before everyone else.